Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here and taking the time of your night to listen to me. Tonight's topic is ways to plan out your week to have clarity, confidence, and success without feeling overwhelmed. And I wanted to share this quote also. I kind of switched it up a little bit, but I'm rereading the book by Josh Coates, The Best Version of You. You can actually get a free copy. I think you might just have to pay shipping. But this book is so fire. Like it is so good. And he has a book before this one too, F Leadership. I know a lot of you guys have read it. But anyways, I got this quote from that. But feelings are fleeting, therefore they are never constant or steady. Don't rely on them to plan out your business, and same with your mood. Your mood is different every day, every hour, every 5 minutes for some of us, but the only way to have success is to become someone who is consistent and steady with your routine. I just want to share that because I feel like a lot of people go or you know go off of their mood. And same goes for your workouts too and your fitness. Fitness is so much like business, so much. But don't just rely on like how you feel. Sometimes you got to do it regardless of your mood and how you feel. Because the next day you're probably going to feel better anyway. So you're just going to be proud that you did that. So I think I'm going to go into kind of like objections, I guess I should say, or like things that people say on why they're not planning things out. So you might relate to at least one of these. You have nothing to say on your social media because you're not planning anything out. You're choosing to wing this business instead of taking 10 to 20 minutes once a week to get organized. This is not a wing it business. I don't believe it is. And because when I did that for the first 2 years of my business, it literally got me nowhere. I swear I kept everything in my mind for 2 years in this business. I didn't write anything down. Maybe like a sticky note here and there or note card here and there. But to like plan out a week, like what was that? I didn't look at my coach office for like 2 years. I remember my upline back then was like, "You don't look at your coach office?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Oh my God." I like it just took so long to do any of that. But anyways, you tell yourself that your life is boring, so you have nothing to talk about. I've heard that so many times, more than I even want to hear it. If you're not reading or listening to podcasts, you won't be inspired enough to talk about what you're doing. It'll feel like you're constantly making stuff up just to talk because you have to, or feel like you're being fake because you're just making stuff up to talk about. Being consistent in your journey, in your fitness journey, and in business with everything will always give you things to talk about. If you're being consistent, you have things to talk about. If you're following a program, you have things to talk about. If you're taking the supplements, you have things to talk about. It's all worthy to talk about. I also hear that a lot. Like, I don't know if people care enough, or I don't think like I shouldn't share this because no one's gonna watch or no one's gonna listen. Like I've been there before too. A lot of people say that. It's just always repeat to yourself, like, this is worthy. This is worthy of sharing. I'm gonna share it. And you'll be shocked at like the support that you get from that too. I don't know why this keeps coming to my mind, but like non-scale victories. Like I love sharing like new clothes that I get and like how confident I feel in that outfit. There was a time in my life where I didn't feel that way. And there's so many other women that feel that way. And then a side note I have on this is I've literally said my life is probably more boring than any of y'all's. Maybe not, maybe a little bit. But just because I've been at home for over 4 years, almost every day without a car. I'm getting a car actually in the spring, which I'm so excited about. But unless it's a holiday, grocery store, or I fly home every 4 to 6 months to Indiana to visit my family, my life isn't extravagant at all. I just make the most out of life with what I have and I share my journey. I don't have to be doing extravagant things all the time to be changing lives. And I think it's really important to understand that. Next, these are some trackers that I have for my team. Obviously, you can follow the body one too, that's online or printed out, but choose one day out of the week where you plan out. I just said Monday through Friday. If you want to do Monday through Sunday or Monday through Saturday, whatever that looks like for you. Some days I will do like Monday through Wednesday and then like Wednesday plan out the rest of the week. However you want to do it, just like choose your days. Some people have planners with this business. I think Sammy follows a planner. I've seen that on her story before. I just do a notebook, but get something. And then always have a calendar too. I feel like a calendar definitely is needed in this business. I mean, no excuses. Go to Dollar Tree, go to Walmart, just find a calendar. And I like to hang mine up on my wall just so I know what's going on. It's just crucial to stay up to date with the company and the team. And then this is a busy girl tracker that I made for my team like maybe 6 months ago. But it's just like I feel like I chose the things and narrowed them down to make them feel like they could do this business on a busy schedule, basically. And then the me time, income, and fun stuff, I made that up almost 2 years ago, but I've been following that ever since. It just made it more fun for me. So, like, the me time is like personal development and workouts, basically. And then the daily vitals is the income. I know that if I'm doing that stuff, I'm contributing to my income and I'm growing my income. And then the fun stuff, I like to label that as fun stuff rather than just posting on social media, making a story. You know, it just something, it just made my mind feel better about those things. And I love it. And actually, I write this stuff in my notebook. So I don't print these out, but I just done it for so long that I like know how it goes. So I just have a typical notebook here. And then obviously I have random stuff that's like in the corners, like, you know, personal life, like if I have any appointments or extra things that's going on that day. But tomorrow I already have my day planned out. So like me time, income, stuff that I want to talk about on my story from earlier that I didn't get a chance to talk about. I'm gonna make a business driven post tomorrow because I haven't made a business post yet this week. And then I have other stuff that I want to share with my team. But anyways. And make sure you know you're using some type of tracker. Like I said, even if you don't have the tracker like in your face, like print it out, at least write out the things in your notebook, however that's going to work for you. Okay, next, Carolyn showed me this last year. We did a one-on-one call and I thought this was so cool. I think she might have this on the team page, not really sure. She could let me know in the chat. But she uses Google Sheets to help her plan out her weeks and months. And so I took a screenshot. You can't really see it. It's kind of blurry now that I screenshotted it. But this is so important. So every week, every Sunday, I go into Google Drive, Google Sheets, and then every Monday it shows me like what I do on Mondays, what I do on Tuesdays. And I have specific things. Like on Mondays, I like to share like a screen recording of the bod group, of my bod group, and put my application. I do that specifically on Mondays. So it's just not like random. Like I'm actually planning out everything. And then on Fridays, I share a screen recording of my Strong Sisterhood to like split those communities up a little bit. And then, you know, on Thursdays is rank advancement and success club boards and stuff like that. I have that in there. And then I have like check coach office because if I didn't have these things written down, like I would literally forget to do them straight up. I have more things in there too, but whatever your days look like, that's how I do it by week. And then monthly, I find it so helpful monthly too, because at the end on the right hand side all the way to the bottom, you'll see like monthly and extra. So like if there's extra things I want to do, like maybe like update my applications or like my online applications, because you'll be so shocked. I just did this a few months ago. I updated my business application and my Strong Sisterhood. And I was like, why did I say that? Why did I put that picture there? You know, like we're always changing, we're evolving, we're growing constantly. And so maybe do that this week. Like go check out your applications and like your beacons or your Linktree or whatever you still have and see like what you have there and upgrade it. And then I have like bod renewals down there because I never want to forget that. And I told my team this today, but last month I hit Success Club because of bod membership, like upgrading their memberships. So don't forget that. And then other things that I do with my team there too. So just a fun little thing that you can do to keep track of your weeks and months. And then just some other things that I had in mind that I wanted to say to you guys. You know this saying that if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to nobody. I know a lot of us have heard that in the business world. It's like you're messaging everyone, like literally every single person. And Carolyn kind of talked about this last week on team calls, like talk to like like you're literally talking to just one specific girl. And same, this is what I'm getting to, but same goes for your stories. If you're talking about anything and every day, just because you have like nothing planned, I'm going to say nothing, people get lost. Plus, that's more stress on you. And that's why it's so important. I'm going to get into like how I do this too, but having like a plan and not just like wing this business. I promise you, if you can learn to plan and have like a little bit of structure, this business, you will find more success in this business. Something to remember is like what we are doing makes sense to us, but it doesn't always make sense to the ones who are watching us. Most of them do not have a damn clue how this works. I even find girls that literally watch me every day that I know they don't know what I do because they have questions. And then like a month ago, I was actually so blown away by this. This girl, it was like an obvious question. It was like on a transformation, and she was like, "Do you have like fitness programs that I can do?" Like she literally didn't know. And I talk about this stuff like so much. I know I am a broken record, but that's fine. That's fine because that's how you find success in business. But not everyone watches your stories word for word, and not everyone reads your posts either. People's attention spans are like slim to none. And so add value every day. Carolyn also taught me this last year on our one-on-one call. She was like, because I kind of felt like lost. I felt like I was sharing kind of like the same way I had been for 3 years. And she was like, well, are you adding value every day? And that really made me think, like, am I, or am I just getting on my story because I have to? So that like really caught my attention. And so like now I'm like, okay, how can I add value today? And just keep in mind, I mean, you add value just by being you. You truly do, because being you is your superpower, but also like adding value from the business, from your journey, from fitness, from a healthy tip that you want to share. Like free value is great too. Knox is literally crying for me. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have 2 slides left. And if you're not inviting in your post, invite in your story that day. That's also a great tip. It's so, what did I say there? It's so good. Yeah, it's so good for her to know that she can join you in some way. I've been loving like the tap emojis. I know Carolyn does that a lot too. I never did that until like a month ago. I started using them more. And I think people feel more comfortable to just tap an emoji rather than vote on a poll. I don't have a lot of success with polls, but I do them all the time. The only time I have a lot of success with them is when it's something outside of health and fitness or business. Imagine that. People are scared. It's not that they're not interested. They're scared. They're scared to vote on a poll because, oh my God, she's going to reach out to me or whatever, but I still do them. And then obviously I said this already, but you may seem like you're talking about this business too much. You're talking about the programs too much. You're talking about you too much. You sound like a broken record to yourself, but you don't sound that way to your followers. I promise you do not. I promise they're not watching on the dot every single day, maybe a couple of them, but or are they grasping every single thing that you're talking about every single day, you know? Next. Let me mute myself real quick. I'm going to tell Knox I'll be out there in just like 10 minutes. Mom life. I know you guys understand. Take action when you are most inspired. Love doing this too. Taking action on content creating when you are most inspired. So it comes from a good place rather than a burnt out you at the end of the day trying to come up with something just to post, just because you have to. I've had days like this too, and it sucks. It's like not a good feeling creating a post or like getting on your story when you're not inspired. I hate that feeling. I absolutely hate it. It feels like a drag, and people know, like people read like kind of read minds. They know your energy. They know you're not being like the inspired you or whatever. So in the morning after my personal development, I have a folder in the notes of my phone labeled my or story ideas. And I typed some things out that I could talk about that day, at least 5 things, just so I have like things. And if something else randomly pops into my mind later on, that's fine. I'll talk about that too. I always talk about random stuff with my life or Knox, mom life. but it gives me a plan. And it's not like I'm going through my day like, oh my God, what am I gonna put out there today? What am I gonna say? Um, and or else I would forget or be the same every day. I would. So same for the moves of the day. I always post my workout moves. Not only does it hold me accountable, but it shows people that like I actually do these things. And when you get partners on your team, they're going to follow that too because you do that. So, like, did the trainer say something inspiring? Get in the note to your phone real quick and like type that in so that you can put that on your moves of the day. Don't just like put workout moves up. Anyone can do that, but we don't post for free. You know that. And then, like, what song do you want to use? Like, actually make it fun. Put some thought into it. And we could all have that reminder, here and there is sometimes we get so just like so caught up in like what we need to be doing that we're like, am I being a little bit boring? Have I changed anything in a while? Am I doing the same shit? Am I standing in the same spot? Like there's just so many things. Just be open-minded about the business, and that can really help you too. And then lastly, a fun action step to do after this call. You don't have to do this, but I'm actually working on this week myself. But get 2 pieces of paper and on one label like fitness ideas or like fitness real ideas. You can like label different parts like fitness ideas and then stories and posts for fitness. And then business ideas on the other piece of paper. I have them right here. And then number out 1 through 20 ideas that you could do. I don't know about you, but I have ideas saved on Instagram folders. Like I save so much stuff on Instagram. I always say I'm going to go through and like organize it, and I freaking don't. Like they are organized, but I still find myself like saving quotes every day. There's so many good quotes on Instagram. I know you guys feel this, like so many good ones. And I have so many ideas on Pinterest too. And that I have yet to implement, like just folders of so many good ideas. And I feel like if I, when I sit down on Sunday and I plan out, like, what am I going to post Monday, Tuesday? I post Monday through Friday. On the weekends, I've been trying to stay more low key. And that's been a work in progress for me too, but I'm proud of that. But, and then I can just look at these papers and be like, okay, I'm going to make this post on Monday and on Tuesday, and I'm going to do this reel on Wednesday. The amount of ideas that I get for this business is outnumbered. It's ridiculous. Sometimes it's really hard to shut off my brain because we get to create whatever we want. And that's the best, one of the best things about this business. But this is the last thing I'm going to say, but tips for stories that I've been following for years is whatever I post about that day, especially like if it's a transformation or a business post or like kind of like something deep, I talk about it on my story. Just like I said, because just because you talk about it on your story doesn't mean they grasp it. And same for like your posts. People just scroll so fast. Like I've watched Chris at night just like literally like scroll as fast. I'm like, what are you even seeing? What are you seeing? Nothing. But unless it catches his eye, so make sure your posts are eye catching and getting better at it too. Just always get better. But the other day I turned my screen around to share the body platform and I was like, wow, I haven't done this in at least 5 months. And it made me think like, I'm doing these workouts every day and I'm sharing my workout moves and I talk about this app, but I never share it. And open your mind. I already said that. Open your mind. What have you not shared in a while? What could you share this week? And then use Pinterest for content ideas and pose ideas. You can search like anything on Pinterest for that. And so many ideas pop up. Man, that's all I have. I need a drink. Hold on.